This time we're going to be looking at attributes, how you create them, what they're for, and some best practices and pitfalls to avoid. So first, in order to get to your attributes, you're going to look under our libraries menu here. And if you don't see anything below, try clicking the drop down and you should see the attributes link here. If you're just starting out, you will have a blank library here because we haven't added any yet. So first thing we will want to do is click Add. Now there are a lot of different options for attributes, and attributes are really just any piece of information or data, a date or a time or other record that you want to associate with a member of your ecosystem. And so these are really the building blocks for how we categorize them, sort them and organize our partner data. So the date and time options, just like they sound, will help you record, dates and times of meetings or events or other interactions. The multi-select and single select options are essentially just giving an option, like sector types you might have, and you can either choose just one or multiple of those. And then we have an open-ended text attribute where you can just enter in any open-ended text. And then lastly, GIS attributes, which will actually fill in information from some of the base layers in partner, things like census tract, school district, Senate or representative districts, mostly in Colorado, but with some data nationally as well. So I will pick single select as an example here. First thing we will want to do is just give our attribute a name. And so in this case, I'm going to write populations served, because this is going to be a attribute that captures what different populations and communities the organization primarily serves. So what groups does the organization primarily serve? We always recommend putting in a description, even though it's technically optional, just because it helps you later remember what this is and sort of keeps everyone aligned when they're using these attributes. For single or multiple select options, you'll be able to type in the response options yourself. So in this case, we could say, families and children as one option. And then we can go to the next, hit enter to go to the next line. We can do older adults. We could also do the general population, and maybe LGBTQ plus community, people of color. You kind of get the idea. When we hit add, all of these will be added in as response options, and then we can also move these around if we'd like to change the order that they're displayed in. Once you're all done, you can hit the save button here, and we'll have our new attribute ready to go. Now, you can also create attribute groups if you want. So we could, for example, write services info here, and we're going to put all of the services related attributes in there. And then we can go back to the first one we created, our population served, and choose under the group that services info group. The groups are really helpful because they will a lot of times display a member's attributes based on the attribute groups. So if you put all the sort of types of information in their own attribute groups, all the dates and times, for example, maybe, or any geographic data or contact information, that'll just make it easier to view reports and profiles later on. Once you have your attribute, you can go ahead to assign this by editing members in your member library one by one, or you can use our bulk assign tool. So click the little assign button here under the more options menu. And then if we had members in this, you'd be able to, next to each name, choose which of the select options you want to assign them. And so that's a quick way to assign these attributes to members in bulk rather than doing it individually. That concludes this tutorial on attributes. I hope you learned something new today. Thanks for joining us.